And we are live. Welcome to the MLB Live Before Lock Show. 30 minutes breaking down today's two games. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. If you're watching on Twitter, thank you. Make sure you're following me if you're not. We got two games. It's going to look a lot like it did yesterday. We're going to take a peek at the top pitchers tool, a peek at the top stacks tool, and then we are going to build some lineups using the single game sim. Ryan, Jake, what's going on? Doug Dubs in the house. We're going to be here for the next half hour, breaking it all down. So it's good to see everybody here today. Michael King on the hill for San Diego. Aaron Nola on the hill for the Philadelphia Phillies. Sean Manaea going for the Mets. And Walker Buehler going for the Dodgers. This one kind of looks a little different than yesterday because you've got Michael King, 58% chance to be top two. Aaron Nola, 56. Sean Manaea, 55. Three basically the same top two pitcher odds. And then you get Walker Buehler at 31.5. Not even close. So it's King, Nola, Manaea on one hand, Walker Buehler on the other. Buehler, however, only projected for 21% ownership, showing very sizable positive leverage. It will be very interesting to see what we can do with that positive leverage when we try to build out a lineup in the single game sim. Do I like the idea of going to Walker Buehler? Of course not. He's been really bad this year. Not the Walker Buehler of old. He has had power problems against lefties and righties. None of this looks like a good time. But if he's really going to be 21% owned, I think we're creating a little bit of leverage and we could help ourselves out here on this two-game slate. When it comes to King or Nola or Manaea, honestly, there's nothing really separating these dudes. Michael King is at the top of the list. He's also the worst value of the three. Nola is in the middle, and he's the middle value. And then Manaea is at the bottom, but he's the best value of the three. So it's King is the top two pitcher, third in value of the King, Nola, Manaea trio. And then you just invert it all. So whether you like King, Nola, or Manaea, I don't have a lean there. Like, I guess technically speaking, Aaron Nola is the most over-owned of these guys. So you probably are looking at like King plus Manaea or Walker Buehler plus something. But we have three guys that look one way, and then Walker Buehler is a dice roll at 6,200. Now, I talked about it. We can look at the data quickly before we go any further. But if we look at the Dodgers here, and we look at Walker Buehler, 161 X ISO to lefties, 174 two righties. It's not good. Swinging strike rate, 8.6% to lefties, 9% to righties. He can't generate a swing and miss, and that's not good. And it appears, whether it's lefties or righties, they're not having much of an issue squaring him up. But when you only have two games and you're only getting 20% ownership, I think Walker Buehler becomes the most interesting thing you could look at pitcher. It's not fun, but we got to remember, 31% of the time, one out of every three. Think about it like this. You're going to have countless batters hit today and get 3 plate appearances. And the expectation for the best of them is probably that they get a hit or at least get on base in one of those 3 plate appearances. That's the same odds as Walker Buehler being one of the 2 best pitchers for today. So we have to be very aware that Walker Buehler as a pitcher is more interesting than he should be. Now, if we're talking about top stacks, it's going to be a little bit of a different conversation. Top stack, no surprise, San Diego at 31%. Dodgers not too far behind at 26%, which is an interesting dynamic giving the ownership to King. Manaea up against Philly. Philly coming in third. And then the Mets bringing up the rear, 19% chance of being the top stack. I'm very intrigued by the idea of going to the Dodgers plus Buehler. That's like the first thing that I'm looking at where it's like, okay, I get the leverage of Buehler. I bring it along for the ride because if the Dodgers play really well, Walker Buehler is going to be way more likely to get a win. Now, I doubt that Walker Buehler is going deep enough to get a win in this game. He's going to need 5. That would surprise me. But as I see our top stack data and our top pitcher data, I think my preferred combination for today is Dodger stack plus Walker Buehler. That's not fun. And I don't know. I mean, the savings for Walker Buehler will probably help a little bit for the Dodgers. But that's the direction I want to go. And I think that's where we're going to start when we get to the single game sim. If you guys are still looking to sign up at Stokastic, whether you're looking for baseball, which will mildly exist for the next few weeks, whether you want to line yourself up for the NBA, which starts 2 weeks from today, or NFL. We've got Thursday night football. We've got the full slate of Sunday games, Sunday night football, Monday night football. We hit all of it. If you're looking to sign up at Stokastic, links in the description of this video. Click one, sign up for the package that you are looking for, which includes the single lineup sim, which is what we're about to use right now. Let's figure out if we can do this, folks. We're going Walker Buehler. And I guess I'm going to go to Sean Manaea, which will then let us go to the Dodgers and find our favorite Dodgers stack. Now, I'd like to get Ohtani. I don't know how feasible this is going to be. But if we get Ohtani... I guess I got to put Ohtani in the outfield here. That allows me to get Freddie Freeman. And then, oh my God, San Diego is just such a better value here. Tommy Edman can go in at short. That's 3. Gavin Lux goes in at second. And then we can get Will Smith at catcher. I can promise you guys this right now. It's not going to look good. We're going to end up with a much better lineup in the near future. These are yesterday's pieces of data. So we can make that a little bit bigger for today. So we need a 3-man stack. We need a 4-man stack. We need a 3-man stack. Will Smith didn't go in there. Now he's in. Third base, outfield, 4,600 per person. Leads me to think that the Mets are the path that we want to take, which would be Vientos, Nimmo, Marte, 5-3 Dodgers, Mets, Buehler, Manaea, 80.6 projected fantasy points, 264.68 on ownership. This is going to look terrible. And we left 2,300 on the board. This is going to be bad. Great lineup. 16%. We can do so much better than this. If we take out the Mets, I mean, I guess we're kind of going to the Mets no matter what. Francisco Alvarez does not make that lineup better. Pete Alonso does not make that lineup better. Jose Iglesias does make that lineup better in place of Gavin Lux. I don't think anything is going to be better than Vientos. I do wonder if we could take out Tommy Edman and replace him with Francisco Lindor. That gives us 3 Mets, 3 Dodgers. We need 2 outfielders, and they can both be 4K. Betts is likely to be too expensive in that situation because that takes me to 85. That's going to be too much if I wanted to get Marte as well. And I'd be $100 over if I wanted to go Taylor. So we can't get Betts, which kind of leads me... I guess it's Tommy Edman. And that leaves me enough to get to Brandon Nimmo 4-4. We do go up in ownership a little bit, but we also gained 2.5 fantasy points. All right, we're slowly but surely climbing. And I just think that Dodgers Mets is not going to be the path that we're really looking to take. I think it's going to be hard to run that down. And we'll be able to see that in a second when we try to build a Padres stack, because a Padres stack is the best stack you can build. If we look at just points per dollar for anybody that's on the slate, Padre, Michael King, Padre, Walker Buehler, Padre. So if we throw out pitchers, the 6 top best values today come from San Diego. And that's going to be the thing that gives us a stupidly high projection in comparison to where we're at. So let's see it. Luis Arias goes in. David Peralta goes in. Cronenworth goes in. Profar goes in. Xander Bogaerts goes in. Now, if we're going to go to San Diego, by all accounts, we're going to have to go to Michael King at that point. And then we can't go Walker Buehler. So it's got to be one of Manaea or Nola. I don't really care which one we take. So I'm going to use the rest of the projections as the guide. In this case, Real Muto looks like the most interesting catcher option more than Francisco Alvarez. So if I take Real Muto, it also means that I'm going to take Nola. Leaves us 5,500 for a third baseman and an outfielder. Now, the outfield piece of this will be easy. We'll take Kyle Schwarber and we'll move on. 5,600 for any third baseman. Technically, this can be Machado. And we can swap out one of these other San Diego guys, which I would like that to be David Peralta. So now we have 5 San Diegos, 2 Phillies. We could use any outfielder upwards of 3,600. Austin Hayes is sort of the best guy that we can get to for what we want here. Technically, we can grab Tommy Edman, who projects the best, or Starling Marte. So let's look at... I'm going to do the stack first and take Hayes. And then we'll see what it looks like if we upgrade the player. But look at the difference here in projection and ownership. 89 projection. We went up 6 fantasy points. Now, we also went up 42% in ownership. But 6 fantasy points is no joke. And that's what you're going to see with regards to what these sims look like. All right, we're right back in that 30 range. 31.5 is the best we've seen. But now we know what the ceiling looks like. And this is where we can start to make this lineup look a little bit different. If I take out Austin Hayes, then we can just simply go to a better projection. We could take Starling Marte, get 0.2 of a fantasy point more, and less ownership. In theory, this should look better. But unfortunately, it did not. So it leads me to think, can I change another San Diego guy into a Philly guy and turn this into something resembling a 4-4? Best Philly value remaining is Austin Hayes. So if we put Austin Hayes in, we have the option of removing one additional player. If I take Luis Arias out, we can get up to 4,900. Does that get us anything we want here? It doesn't, unfortunately. So it's not Luis Arias. I don't think that it's going to be JT Realmuto. Is it Cronenworth? Nope. Cronenworth is the best second baseman. I don't think it's Machado. Short? It's definitely not Short. Bogarts, get back in there. Huh. It is turning out to be difficult to upgrade this lineup. There's no way it's Profar. Because Profar projects better than Castellanos. Unless the ownership discount helps. That leaves 700 on the table. 4-4. Philly, San Diego. We did cut projection a bit, but we also cut ownership a hair. I think we're going to be in the 20s again here. Take a bench bat and ignore the sim for the day. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. 31-9. We did get a new leader in the clubhouse at 31-9. So let's lock in 88-48 and 310-78. And now I'll hit Ryan. Ryan, I'll hit your lineup quickly. So we're going to go the FanDuel side for this one. And that's going to be Nola, Alec Boehm, Luis Arias, Max Muncy, Trey Turner, Castellanos, Edman, Profar, JT Realmuto. Let's take a look and see what we have here. There we go, man. Ryan coming in with a 43.4. That's not too shabby. That's not too shabby at all. Let's move me up here so you guys can see better. Thanks for that comment. Nope, too high. Too high. There we go. That should be better. It's still too high. Perfect. And by perfect, I mean I'm not going to move it again. So, but yeah, Ryan, that's good, man. That's good. I like it. Now, I do think that I can do a little bit better on DraftKings than what we just had before. So who are the actual best value plays that also project well? It is Luis Arias, which is not helpful. And it is Jurickson Profar. So we are sliding our way back into this San Diego scene. If I take Tatis and Machado, we can probably do pretty well here from a value standpoint and fill out the rest of this lineup. Now, second base is pretty gross. Nobody looks good. I'm going to go Iglesias here. Unfortunately, this is going to look way worse because it's going to make me go to Francisco Alvarez, who actually looks bad. It does let me get Trey Turner. And then I can have any outfielder or I assume any pitcher I want. So in this case, it would be King. I don't know why I took Trey Turner there. I agree. Smash the like for the Czar. So I have 4K for any outfielder I want. That can be Nimmo. Have I built this lineup? Whoa! Do you guys see the projection on this? 90.7? That's 2 fantasy points higher than what we had before. And we're barely increasing ownership. This is going to be the best lineup we've built. The Czar is in the building, folks. 55% ROI. We nailed it. We nailed it. You can get a projection upwards of 90.68. And that is the lineup that gets you where you need to be. That spends every cent. Spends the full 50K on a 4-4. My assumption is that construction will be popular. And it makes me wonder if there's one spot here that we can pivot and make the lineup be better. If we take Jose Iglesias out and replace him with Jake Cronenworth, we do increase the projection. We also increase the ownership. I wonder how that relationship matters. Does going to a 5-3 change anything? Comes down a little bit. My assumption is that we're going to have a spot that we can pivot here and make the lineup look more interesting. It's not Nimmo. I guess it could be Profar, but I doubt it. No, it's not Profar. I doubt it's Tatis. No, it's not Tatis. Although, could be interesting to add Mookie Betts there. How different does it look? Because we cut ownership by quite a bit, but we also cut projection and have that negative link to Michael King. So I'm not very confident. Okay, 50.9. It's not all that different. It's not all that different. But there's definitely a pivot here somewhere. It can't be Luis Ariz unless we just think that he's making too much. But there's not another first base option. Alvarez can technically can't be anything else. We're not going to make any changes to Manaea or King. It would have to be Lindor, which by all accounts is not the answer. I really don't think that I can make a change to this lineup. I think we have the literal best thing you could build right here. Like if I make Machado Vientos and go 5-3 to the Mets, it's probably going to be decent. But what we're finding is we know the range of like 40 to 50% ROI now. Oh, baby, we got it. The Czar is in the building. The Czar has done what he normally does. 89.34 on the projection, 305.48 on the ownership. That's going to be your winner, folks. 64.6. 5-man Mets stack. 3-man San Diego stack. Sean Manaea and Michael King. And it leaves $800 on the table. Can that upgrade Francisco Alvarez? It can get us to Higashioka. I wonder how that changes the lineup. Do we go up from 64 or down? I think we go down. I was wrong. I'm smart. 78.7. Obi-Wan, you're damn right I can get it higher. I'm like Creed in this place. I can take you higher. I can take everybody higher. 312.7 in ownership, 78.7 ROI. I don't think we're going to leave on a better note than that. We just built the goods, man. 4-4 San Diego and the Mets, King and Manaea. I don't think it gets any better than this. I think the genius is here. I don't think this Cronenworth move will make this better. But 78.7. We're going to beat it? Nah, we're down. It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. I don't think we have any other changes we can make. The path to the best possible ROI goes through San Diego and New York. All right, final lineup to look at. We're going to take a look at Jeff Williams' super chat. So thank you for the super chat. Let's put this one in. Nola and King. We're going to go to Higashioka, Bryce Harper, Cronenworth. What's going on here? What am I missing? Trey Turner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who am I missing here? Peralta, Tatis, Castellanos. Sosa. Man, I'm blind, dude. I couldn't read that. All right. Leaves 200 on the table, 87.55 and 317. It's probably going to be in the 20s. Negative 5.7. Jeff, that's a decent try. You should try getting into the 70s, like the single lineup czar does. I think that's where we stand for today, folks. Lock incoming. What time is lock officially? Was it 5:07? 5:08. Okay, 5:08. But we made it to the top of the hour here, at least pretty close to it. And we did build out a very nice San Diego Padres New York Mets stack that got us to 78.7. Tomorrow, we're going the full hour because we have 4 games on the docket for tomorrow's slate. So we're going to be able to do tomorrow, probably for the final time of the year, and really look at the slate. So 3:08 is first pitch tomorrow for Cleveland and Detroit. I'll likely be going live probably around like 2 or 2:15. We'll break down all 4 games. We'll be able to hit top pitchers, top stacks. We'll build some lineups. We'll have some fun. Jeff, that sounds great. I was actually just there. What's today? Tuesday? I went on Sunday. It was delicious as well. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy the baseball. Go Mets, by the way, because there's no chance that I will ever cheer for the Philadelphia Phillies. I'll talk to you guys later. We'll have some fun tomorrow. Let's do it.